Oh, yeah, a little bit of Undisputed today. I wanted to watch what they had to say about the Clippers and Lakers game yesterday, so let's go ahead. It was a great game. Can't believe the Clippers lost, man.
Believe it or
Can't
not.
believe it.
Keyshawn Johnson.
What a game it was.
A Lakers
Well,
fan
I was
right
going
here
crazy.
in the LA area.
Paul George going crazy. LeBron going crazy.
Lakers won last night.
Indeed did his thing.
It's easy to say.
And Reeves finally had a good game.
And then Austin Reeves cooking in overtime, you know, putting in some buckets. But it's
D-Lo had a
LeBron,
big
man. The Lakers go as far as LeBron is going to take them. I know we want to push Anthony Davis in front of LeBron, but right now that's not the case, although both had double-doubles last night. AD played well. There's no question about it. But LeBron, is something about not only his basketball IQ, but when he wants to do something, you just go back to breaking Kareem's record last year, Skip. As you know, he went on a tear to get to that record.
From December 30th, his birthday, through February 7th.
You mentioned 11 straight losses to the Clips, okay?
Yeah.
At some point, that had to stop, and LeBron James knew it had to stop. They just brought in James Harden and P.J. Tucker. Tuck played, but Harden didn't last night. LeBron knows that. He understands that. So one of the things that we could not afford to do was lose to the Clippers in this situation at home, 11 straight losses. We need to stay on top because, as I said to you and Richard Sherman the other day, it's not about 2 or 3 teams. It's about the Western Conference. When you look at the Golden State Warriors team sitting at 4-1, getting taken care of the Kings last night. Then you talk about what can the Mavs be? What are the Suns? Okay, you start looking at Denver. We got to stay right there. We don't want to be in no play-in tournaments and all that sort of stuff, hoping and praying at the end of the day. Many people have been complaining about, not necessarily complaining, but raising the question about LeBron's minutes. Why is he playing so many minutes so early in the season? Well, we want to compile these W's. Then we can worry about resting him up and then hitting strong toward the end of the season and into the playoffs. So it's all about LeBron, man. That's the reason we won that game last night.
And for me, it was interesting to watch because I was flying in, of course, into the World Series and then this game. And I'm going to tell you, I'm thinking when I'm watching, when Kawhi Leonard came out to L.A., and remember all those commercials he had taking over L.A. and all of that? We never really saw that battle. Last night was really the first time we saw that battle.
Could make that case.
You know,
It's like that's what I wanted to see the whole time, and especially that year when they choked in the bubble, we were gonna see it. We were gonna see it, bro, and then we didn't get to see it, and we never did. Yeah, it's true. It's true.
It was incredible. And each
It's
one
true.
of those dudes, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Anthony Davis, LeBron James, those 4 stars showed up to play. And then Russell Westbrook said, wait, what about me? I'm in here too. Let me get something going. It was phenomenal. You know what I thought about also, guys? Because we've had that conversation here. I thought about what LeBron looked like last night compared to what he looked like in that Denver series at the end of those games, when he was trying to drive and make that layup. And then how he caught that alley-oop late in the game, and how fresh he is. And I thought to myself, I'm so tired of hearing everybody talk about trying to control and manage sports. Are you joking? You come in with a plan. We only want to play them this much. We only want to do it. Down in Dallas, Mike McCarthy, we're going to play complimentary football. You can't manage sports. Like, you can have a plan, but sports, that's why we so caught up in it, because you can't predict it, and you have to win the games. Like he said, you have to win the game, especially for the Lakers, because you're trying to find your identity right now. Early on, it's important to find your identity. More important than resting LeBron, we got to figure out the direction that team is headed in.
Okay, back to Keyshawn's points, and I liked all of yours, Michael.
You didn't like mine?
I'm going to respond to your points. LeBron James, through 5 games, even though this team is only 3-2, has been playing at a very high level for his age and stage of his career. He's also playing extremely high minutes when there was supposed to be some plan, as you're pointing out, in place about minutes restrictions early on that you would gradually build up through the season. LeBron James has now played the 7th most minutes in the entire NBA.
You can't play it.
I'm not sure how smart that is going forward, but to your point, you have actually needed him in stretches to get you home in these
Played
games.
43 minutes last night.
Yeah, well, it's incredible. Okay, so here's the point. LeBron has also been playing at a very high level late in games in ways he did not last year, because I pointed out to you and I have detailed to you how they had at least 12 games last year that he should have closed and they failed to close. Sometimes it was his fault, sometimes it was Schroeder's fault or whoever else.
And that'll happen again this year, man.
Okay.
It's a long season.
I don't know. It hasn't happened yet because he is now in the fourth quarter and overtime, 24 of 34 from the floor. That's 71%. That's outstanding. He's 5 of 11 from 3, fourth quarter and overtime. That's outstanding. Just last year, in fourth quarters and overtimes for the whole regular season and playoffs, he was sub 50% from the floor. He's only 46%, and from 3, he was 27% in fourth quarters and overtime. So he basically stunk last year later in games. And you know what happened against Denver in those 4 games in the conference finals. In the fourth quarters of the 4 games, he was 7 of 23 from the floor and 1 of 10 from 3. Well, he seems to have flipped the switch on that and flipped it on its head, because I'm impressed with the way he's playing late in games. But why did I pick the Lakers before the year started? I told you it is time to have a big 3. It is time to have an Austin Reeves rise into at least being a half a star. Maybe not a full star, but a half a star alongside LeBron and Anthony Davis, because LeBron loves this kid. He respects this kid. He buys into this kid. And I want to show you, after what this kid did finally last night in overtime, if you could see what LeBron did, sort of photobombing, interrupting his on-court interview, and what LeBron yelled in Austin Reeves' ear, check this out. Okay, so to me, that was significant. There was some passing of torch there. He was telling him
he wants to, probably.
And so he was reminding everybody after the fact, I was yelling in his ear, go win the freaking game. And in overtime, Austin Reeves finally lived up to his new contract. I think it's been a weight on his shoulders. I think this is all new to him. The spotlight, the focus, the contract, all of the preseason publicity that he got, he has arrived. And it was he was not living up until the overtime last night, when he flat out took the game over. His energy, his playmaking. If we could see what happened, this is a play made with 2:16 left where he stole, I think you mentioned it, Michael, but he stole the ball from Kawhi, and then he ends up with the lob dunk to LeBron. This is really the play of the night, where he steals it, and then he's off to the races, and he, over the shoulder. Okay, LeBron trusts the kid because he's got high basketball IQ, and he doesn't choke in big moments late in games. Remember, against Denver in the 4 fourth quarters last year, he made 8 of 10 shots and 7 of 8 from 3. So I like the mix of him and LeBron closing the game, because they work together, because LeBron buys into the kid. It's hard to impress LeBron. It's hard to win him over, because he got the highest IQ in basketball, maybe in the history of basketball. And he believes in this kid. So to me, that was a significant. It was a development where LeBron's yelling at him after the game. I'm trying to go win the game, and you did. Way to go.
It's LeBron, and me, in my heart, I would like to think.
Man,
you know, coaches in you somewhere. You know, and I'm telling you, that's
those shots. But at that opportunity, start that the Boston Celtics is that strategy and that plan to not be sitting in the 8th and the 9th.
Be the man.
Even though there were 2 moments that it closed out finals, John Paxson took a shot and Steve Kerr took a shot.
Has all these different handshakes with everybody.
See what it looked like.
Let me tell you my thought watching.
D-Lo played, well, D-Russ played well too. Let's not just gloss over his performance.
Let me tell you my thoughts watching, and I just gotta say, I was like, how is James just sitting there like he ain't, like, I'm just here. I hadn't done anything all year. I ain't been causing all kinds of problems. I'm just here. That was amazing. The NBA guys, they just show up, sit right there. Like, all of that problem didn't go on in Philly, and I'm just been a good guy. Can't wait to get on the basketball court. It's just funny to me. It looks funny to me.
Different sport, Michael.
It's a different sport. It's a different sport.
So, Keyshawn, the reason LeBron needed to play higher minutes last night is obviously they didn't have Hachimura. They did not have Gabe
They didn't
Vincent.
realize.
They
I
did
don't
not
think
have
even realize
Taurean
that.
Prince, who was a late
I
scratch.
don't think I realized that yesterday.
They
So
haven't had
locked in.
Jared Vanderbilt, best name in all of sports.
And they only played eight.
They haven't had him.
They don't have
He went
Vanderbilt.
eight deep last
or
night.
Rory.
Okay, so he
Or
needed
Gabe
to play
Vincent.
high minutes. My point is, when you've played the 7th most minutes through 5 games, I'm going to knock on wood before I even say this because I hate to even bring it up.
We've been talking about the minutes all the
Yeah.
time.
Train like LeBron, top of the circle and pick for LeBron.
Westbrook. Westbrook is going to close him off. So LeBron already knows that.
To force the
Here,
act.
slightly off.
He didn't are the
Still say
leading
close.
scorer in the NBA.
All right, man. Y'all let me know your thoughts.